for listening to Really Relatable with Tara and Alexis. We're so excited to have you guys back for another episode where we're going to talk about inspirational stuff, have a super, like one of probably the funnest guests we're going to have.
Yes.
I mean, I don't even know how you got her to agree to do it, but I can't wait for you guys to learn more about all that. But before we do that, we always start with a small business shout out. So this week we are shouting out Ginger Birch. Ginger Birch is a super cool, eclectic home gift floral shop that they just moved from Swamico, which is way north, well, north of here anyway, into downtown De Pere. And the owner is this like redheaded ball of amazing energy. Like she's so beautiful inside and out. Will do anything for the community. Will go above and beyond for friends and family. And she's just a wonderful person. So if you need gifts, if you need flowers, Ginger Birch, support her.
Check them out.
We're going to use her for our next event coming up. She's doing our flowers. I'm so excited to see her work in our office.
Very excited to see it.
Because you've never met her.
No, I've never met her before.
And you haven't gotten to go to Ginger Birch yet because it's way over in De Pere.
Yeah, way over in De Pere, on the other side of town from me. So far,
all 10 minutes drive over there. So we just love small business, and she is doing it right. She's growing. She's partnering with neighborhood businesses next to her. Rose Lewin Design, who we love, Ben over there too. So it's just amazing to kind of see her growing and to see her doing exactly what she's supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
For her husband and two babes. So Ginger Birch, we love you. And we are so excited for you to support us.
Yeah. And we love being able to support you right back.
Yes. Okay. So you've got a story lined up for us?
I do have a story. So we also like to start our episodes off with something a little bit inspirational. And I thought that what better thing to talk about than somebody that I just recently heard speak. I just went to an event at the Resch Expo Center here in Green Bay just this last week. When was it? On Thursday?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it was by the Women's Fund of the Greater Green Bay Community Foundation. And they brought in their guest speaker, Erin Brockovich.
Oh my God.
I know.
To Green Bay.
See,
we're doing things here.
I know.
We're getting the right people here.
If you have a movie that's named after you and the one actor that they can think of to represent you is Julia Roberts, like you did something right.
Yeah. I feel like they'd cast her for either one of us.
Yeah. Probably. I don't know. I don't know who they would cast me with. Selena Gomez is what I've got.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Cindy Crawford, but she doesn't act and I totally look just like her.
Totally. But no, Erin Brockovich, she was absolutely amazing to be able to listen to. One of the things that she spoke to a lot was this term, and it's just kind of stuck with me since she used it. And it's stick-to-itiveness is the thing that she said that she always learned from her mom and her dad. And the meaning of that, I honestly thought that she was making up words or that her mom was making up a word when she first said it on stage. And stick-to-itiveness is basically the meaning of having so many different obstacles in front of you that could potentially tear you down or stop you dead in your tracks. But being able to dig deep, being able to know who you are, knowing your why, and being able to continue forward and succeeding in what it is that you're doing, that's stick-to-itiveness. And I think that the Erin Brockovich entire story that she was a single mother of 3, found herself in very unfortunate circumstances. And she was from a small town in California where she noticed that people were starting to get sick. And she ended up tracking it back to some of the factories that were around, were contaminating the water and contaminating the soil that was in this town. And she wanted to be able to speak up to it. She got in a car accident. And in that car accident, she ended up getting to know this attorney. Kept on knocking on his door saying, hey, this is going wrong. I want to be able to do something about it. And you should hire me. I know people. I have stick-to-itiveness. I know what I want.
Yeah.
I'm going to make this happen and I'm going to change lives. And he, after however many times of her knocking on the door and her instilling her stick-to-itiveness, finally ended up hiring her. And she went on to win one of the biggest civil lawsuit cases against all of these companies that were contaminating this water. And she got settlements for all of these families. And to that was life-changing. It was able to support the healthcare that they so desperately needed. But it was very inspirational to listen to her, a single mother. She didn't have her law degree. She didn't have her business degree. She didn't have anything that anybody that she was encountering was saying, well, who are you? What do you have to offer? And she was just like, I'm a human being and what you're doing is wrong. I care about the environment and I care about people. So here I am. I'm going to make a difference. And she did.
Yeah. It's awesome that somebody has actually moved to action.
Yes.
It takes a lot to do that. That was our first guest, like Christina, right? Like she saw something that needed to change and she ran for office and won.
Yep.
Never been in politics. Family's not in politics. It's like have somebody that's moved to action is amazing. Because you think of even small scale, like how many times have you seen something at your daughter's school and you're like, I don't like that. And then you don't really do anything about it because you're like, it's not my place to say anything. Or, like I've seen that like in my daughter's sports world or dance world or just high school in general or college and sororities and, all those chapters and things. And it's like, you're never really moved to do something that doesn't impact you personally. It's not like she was personally impacted by these things. Just the community was.
Yep. She just wanted to make a difference.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. And she was just, I could tell, I didn't really know much about her aside from the fact that I had seen the movie, and then I listened to her story on stage again. And, it was really, really funny because she was talking about some of the opportunities that she got, one like the more well-known that she had become. And she talked about being able to pass the Olympic torch and, be able to experience all of these big, amazing things. But she was making fun of herself at the exact same time. She was just like, I did my hair and my makeup and it was raining when I was passing this Olympic torch. She's like, what the what the F-bomb was I thinking? Yeah. And I said, oh my gosh, I absolutely love her. You can never trust. You can't trust somebody who doesn't swear.
Oh, I know.
Those are,
I hold
just
back
so funny.
on
I'm
this podcast.
like, yes.
Oh yeah.
I know. I almost just did it. And I was just like, F word,
bomb,
F-bomb. You can't say it on here.
No, I just think it's amazing too that they got her to come, for one, to Green Bay, right? Like we're always trying to tell a story about like how we have these things happening and to then have women's movement behind her here. I love that because I think it's so typical and standard to see like men stepping into a lot of those roles, not being afraid to public speak, getting up there, telling their stories, like, look what I did, and she does it from such a place of like humbleness of like, I don't know why I was chosen to do this. I'm just doing it because I felt a tap on the shoulder. It's like, I need to do something.
She's like, I wasn't even chosen. She's like, I just like people and I like the environment and I see something wrong. So I'm going to make a difference about it.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah. And she, it really is something, the power of women. There was like 12,000 women that were in that room for that event. And it was called the Power of the Purse event. And what better thing to bring women together than purses?
I don't know, but there's a lot of power in purses. My great grandma used to throw her purse at people. So like
it's actual
power. It's power. Like you're wielding it.
Don't mess with her.
No.
That's
or like,
amazing.
I remember when the internet first, this was a long time ago, but like when you first started to see like little memes or videos, one of the most popular one was like this woman, this little like 80-year-old woman crossing the street, like beat this driver up with her purse because like he kept like edging, like so she could cross the street faster. And she just turned around and opened his door and started hitting her with his purse. Oh yeah. Like it was crazy.
Don't mess with her.
Don't mess with grandma.
Oh my goodness.
And a purse and a good one. Because that thing was full of stuff.
Yeah.
It was.
Oh, totally.
She was.
I know. She was, she spoke to the fact that there was 12,000, there was 1,200 people that were women that were in that room, all brought together by the power of the purse. And she was, saying things that were very empowering, very inspirational. Just when you get a band of women together, especially mothers, like get out of our way. Whatever we want, it's going to happen.
For sure. Yeah, I've always felt that, especially like with you and I and our company, like you start marching down a road and if you want to make something happen, you can make it happen. But we also we're kind of born with that intuitiveness to be able to do that, or be able to kind of push through adversity, which, has been amazing. And I think to just kind of see those things come out to fruition. So to see somebody like her kind of setting that standard of, you don't have to worry about just going after like changing something at school with your principal. Like you can go after major corporations.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's
anything that you want, you want really. If you have the stick-to-itiveness, you can make it happen.
Sky's the limit.
So leewaying into our guest, I think that this is a really, really good point, to bring up about her in specific.
Like my cheeks are hurting from smiling, like thinking about who we have coming on.
Yeah.
Because I don't even know her that well. And you know her intimately well.
Yeah, I sure do. I came from her.
So when we come back from break, we are going to have none other than Maxie Weyers, Alexis's mama. And I cannot wait to hear the stories and learn more.
Just like this podcast, Really Relatable, Caribou Coffee is high quality, the pep in your step that you need while being down to earth and staying true to who they are.
That midday pick-me-up that can come from the yummy handcrafted Caribou Coffee, all while listening to the Really Relatable podcast with the relatable doses of real-life humor, women in business, reality, and so much more.
Caribou Coffee is that warm hug and good feeling you want when life seems crazy and you need a quick escape and maybe a dose of caffeine.
Caribou Coffee is committed to supporting small business and nonprofits in the communities they're brewing in.
We are sitting here with my mother, no other than Maxie Weyers.
My goodness, I'm so honored that these beautiful women, successful and gorgeous, invited me to this podcast, this show.
Oh,
my daughter, of course, you know. What?
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, our entire podcast is about inspiration. It is about stick-to-itiveness, entrepreneurship. It's about real estate. It is about all things that we are about, just at Legacy First, and just who Tara and I are. And obviously you are a big part of me and a big part of where I got to and who I am. So I figured what better than to bring you on.
For sure. Determined.
Yeah.
Stubborn. What you want, you go after. And that's what it is about women.
Yeah.
You know, women should, whatever they need, whatever they want to get, don't let anyone ever stop you.
No. And you have quite the
love.
incredible story that, you know, I feel I understood it when I was younger. I always knew where you came from. But the older that I got, the more that you kind of let me in and the more that you let me in on some of the details about what you had to get through in order to get to where you are now. I mean, you came here when you were 5 years old.
Yes, I'm an immigrant.
Yeah.
Well, Cuba. I was born in Cuba. Came when I was 5. Leaving, you know, the politics there. I'm not going to talk about politics. But anyway, we love this country for sure. We did what we needed. We succeeded. My parents went to work, went to school, and I didn't know what I wanted to do until slowly I was pushed into the world of modeling, TV, and I didn't think I had what it took, but you know what? Everyone told me, go for it. Do what you need to do. Nothing can stop you. And that's one thing I believe in, and I was telling the girls here as well. There is no such word as can't. There is won't. But if whatever you want to do in life, you have to go for it and you will succeed. Believe me. I'm one of those stories.
You didn't know English when you came here.
No English. Went to school and everyone was looking at me and I learned. And my favorite was English, actually, my favorite subject. So I learned English and I was in the spelling bee. I came out 5th runner-up. Yeah. So
Talk about stick-to-itiveness too. I think Tara doesn't know this, but I'm going to share your story about how you actually ended up getting your citizenship.
Oh my
unless you want to tell that story, because it is one of my absolute favorite stories about the biggest like F you that my mom just gave to these people, because it was to get her citizenship. To obtain it, she had to go through a sort of testing, right?
Well, yeah, they asked me a lot of questions. What was
the first president?
The president. Things that
Americans don't even know.
Exactly.
That's true.
Like seriously, like you know, you see it on YouTube and they get stopped on the street and asked random questions, and most American citizens can't say, like a lot of even college students, they can't say these things. And these are the things that they were asking you, Mom. And one of the things, what was the last thing that he asked you to recite? The Declaration of Independence.
Yes.
Is what it was.
Word for word.
And she's like, well, I don't know the Declaration of Independence. Like we, the people, in order to form a,
yes,
that's what they wanted for her to say, word for word.
They flunked me. They actually flunked me the first time I went in for my citizenship. Now, mind you, I went through all my school years in the United States. I'm a very proud person to be in this country. Anyway, I went back home and I memorized the Declaration of Independence from top to bottom. Went back to the same guy. And he didn't want to ask me the question. So finally he says, now, wait a minute, I'm not leaving here until you ask me what the Declaration of Independence is and for me to recite it. And I had him sit there while I recited the whole thing. And they said, okay, leave, you pass. But yeah, they flunked me the first time. But you know what? Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. You did it anyways. You went back, and even when he didn't ask the question again, she was just like, no.
You will ask me that.
Yes,
You will ask me.
You will ask me, and I will answer.
Yeah.
I studied
Yes,
the whole
I am.
thing. I mean, I stayed up nights just, memorizing the whole thing. But
Yeah.
here I am.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Wow.
I love this country.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yep.
And after that, I went through modeling.
Yes, you did.
In New
Around
York
the world.
City, and I traveled the world, and definitely, everyone should see that. It's incredible.
What would you say your biggest accomplishment in your modeling career was?
The Miss World?
Yes.
Miss World, 1975.
I tell everybody that.
Yeah, third
She does.
runner-up.
I tell everybody.
She's
I'm
Like,
not
hi,
kidding.
this
I
is
don't
my
even know-
business partner, Alexis Lane, and her mom was in Miss World.
Third runner-up, people. And
She has the trophy.
out of 76 women
You were third runner-up.
all over the world. It was in London, England.
Oh my
It was
gosh.
so beautiful. Sir Albert Hall.
I've seen the pictures. She
yeah.
showed me some pictures, and I was like, oh, I can see it.
Wow.
Like
Because your
it's-
cousin
yes.
ended up finding pictures of you that you posted most recently.
You know, if you Google me, it's
Yep.
Maxie Clark.
Yeah.
You'll see.
Super
the
Cuban
mom.
name,
Now,
Clark.
do you have a Google?
Yeah,
do you have a
Clark.
national holiday after you? Because maybe we should Google that.
Not yet.
The day of the Clarks.
The day of the Clarks.
It's incredible. Yes, and my last name is Clark, and that's another strange thing that I was born in Cuba, yet my last name is Clark, because people would say, "Well, how could you be a Clark?"
Right.
Well, I'm a mutt, is what I say. I am not one thing or the other. I have Chinese, English, and now look at Alexis with her father.
So beautiful.
It's all European. So there's no such thing as pure.
Right.
You are what you are.
So you said that you've always been driven and had that gumption to always be not afraid of things. But a lot of us don't have that unless we have a support system around us or somebody telling us that it's okay to take risks. It's okay to be pushed. It's okay
You don't
to try.
need that.
So who was that for you though? Did you have somebody in your family?
My mother.
Okay.
My mother always said to me, open your hand. You see it here? Whatever you want in your life, in the world, it's right here. Just take it. Don't hurt anyone, but you have what it takes. So she was always giving me that encouragement, that push. Because,
Grandma was an
you need it.
incredibly
She was
strong
very
woman
powerful,
too.
very
Because
powerful.
my grandpa didn't come when
We left the country.
when they left the country. My
Left
grandpa
Cuba.
initially didn't come. He stayed behind and tied up all the loose ends.
Right.
And my grandma came with two very young children at the time, 5 and 7?
5 and 7.
5 and 7
19
years
months
old to
apart,
a
my
country
brother.
she didn't speak English.
None.
Still doesn't speak English to this day.
Exactly.
Yeah. She doesn't speak English. She doesn't want to speak English.
No, well, when you get to this country,
Yep.
you kind of stay in your little group, which is wrong,
Yeah.
But she learned English for a little while, but her English was so bad that I always said to her, just talk to me Spanish, please. The same with my father. And then we moved to Florida. From New York, from Brooklyn, where I was raised, we moved to Florida. And in Florida, there were so many Latins.
Sure.
We started it, but she didn't need to speak the language.
Right.
So she lost it. So she doesn't speak English now.
Yeah.
She's from the old country,
Yep.
you could say.
I love that though, because the traditions stay alive in some of that too. You know, I
Yes.
think traditions can easily be lost when you come into a new culture. So
Oh, you do.
did you keep a lot of your family traditions?
I
growing up?
have. I think I'm the last one. I'm trying to, share it with Alexis.
Yeah.
Even the cooking, the food.
The
Oh,
cooking, the traditions,
food,
we
the
all have our
culture.
asavaches that you give to
Yes.
us that are blessed.
Good luck.
The little black
asavaches.
beads.
I have one right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, out of all my little things. But yeah, that's the good luck. And
Mhm.
all these little things, hopefully, we'll keep spreading it on to our children so we don't lose that. That's so important, your culture. And every Latin race has a different culture. Everyone thinks that all the Latins are the same, all the Hispanics. We're not. We all have our own different little ways of being.
right.
Yeah.
I think Americans can be the same, but I think it's a bunch of mixed traditions that come with it. You
Yeah.
know, like you had asked Alexis and I, even though we were both born and raised here in this area, our traditions are probably very different just because
I
of
went
our
to
families.
your family Christmas,
You
and
did?
I had never played Jeopardy at a Christmas before.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that was so
And Tara
fun.
had this big Jeopardy board all set and ready, and she was so excited. She was
It's
like,
a
for
melting
$800. It was really, we were playing for like
Jeopardy?
$20 in Pride and Joy.
Yeah.
We play
Oh my-
dominoes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
We're a
We played
dominoes family.
before, right? Dominoes, the men would play dominoes, the women bingo.
And a lot of rum and a lot of instrument playing. We would have
yes.
one cousin was on the trumpet and one cousin was playing the guitar and I was on the bongos and the what is it called?
Tambourine.
Marachas.
The
Maracas.
yeah.
Maracas.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It's just such a melting pot, this
Yep.
country. You run into all the things. And that's the beauty of it.
Yep.
It's just to have everyone
Mhm.
put in their own little pieces here and there. So,
Well, and aside from that, you went and you modeled and you made your way and you found your happiness and you made a lot of friends and a lot of connections along the
still
way.
have them.
Yeah, and you still
That's
have a
great.
lot of them. Yep.
That's great. It's different phases of life you go through.
Oh, yeah.
As you grow.
Mhm.
Right now, I had being a mother.
Yep.
3 children. I have now 5 grandchildren. Oh,
Mhm.
well, 4, 1 is cooking.
Soon to be 5.
Soon to be
He's
5.
cooking in there.
One
Yeah.
is cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you also went and through motherhood. I mean, when I was young, you were still modeling some.
Some here and there, yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, they took a lot. It's juggling. And I had a business too. I had Once Upon a Child, a couple of them. I started them here in Green Bay and one in Appleton. And
I was that kid in the play area.
Exactly.
That was me.
And then you were
That was a
married to a
lot.
husband that ran a big small business as well. So, I mean, you kind of had the whole gamut. I mean, you had your own business, you had your husband's business, you had a mom. Being a mom of 3 children is a business. Like you running your
Yes.
household like a business.
We forget that about women. And, so if you say, well, I just stay home and mind the children in the house, that's a heck of a big job.
It
People
is.
forget that, and you do not get appreciated.
Yeah, I have 3 daughters, and of the 3 daughters, one, it's her dream. Like it would be her dream to stay home and take care of children and be, her mom. And I was like, yes, that's great. You can have that dream, but you need to be able to support yourself because you never know.
Oh, for
like
sure.
you never know, But I love that. I think it's something that's a lot overlooked. You tried being a stay-at-home mom,
Yeah.
right? I mean, you tried it.
It is not for the weak of heart.
It is not.
It's not.
No, it's a lot of
true.
making lunches and, I just read this thing.
Being a taxi cab
and being
driver.
a taxi cab driver. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just saw this post. Somebody posted on Instagram on our feed actually. And it said, when did I get the memo? And how did I miss it that I now have to be responsible for every meal in every single person's life for the rest of my life?
Yeah.
It's so true.
Yeah, of course. That's what you sign up
Yeah,
for
that's
when
what
you
you
birth
sign-
a child.
Didn't you know that?
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Well,
Yeah.
we can do that. We're women.
We're women.
have
You
a
just
way of
figure it
doing
out.
10 things at one time. And for some reason, I think men have blinders.
Yeah.
They can only focus on certain things, but we can focus on so many things.
No, I always
children,
say that
house.
it's that women rule the world. We just allow for men
do.
to think that they do.
We do.
Right?
No, I know that's true. Let them think what they want to think.
They need that little bit of a
Yeah.
good job.
A little
Thank
bit.
you.
You must be very proud of your daughter, watching her kind of
Very
carry
much
on the
so.
family tradition
I
of
did.
entrepreneurship and
Yes.
seeing her jump into something new. And
Yes, and there's so much more. There's
Mhm.
always new things that are going to come. Never stop.
Thank
Go
you.
forward.
Okay, so with our guests, we like to talk about the national holiday. There's so many of them. So we're going to bring up a couple, and then you get to decide which one we're going to talk about.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Which one speaks to you?
Which one speaks to you?
All right.
So here's your first one. National Inner Beauty Day.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
Or National Forgiveness and Happy Day. Those are 2 good ones.
Those are really
This is a
ones.
good day.
Inner beauty.
You want to talk about inner beauty?
Inner beauty.
I love that
yes.
because a lot of your focus in your earlier life with modeling, acting, career driven could be an outer beauty thing, right? Like so much pressure put on the outer beauty.
It could be, but you have to have the inner beauty for you
Right.
to have the outer beauty. Because if you don't have that inner, there is no outer. I'm
Nobody.
sorry. It
You always said
projects.
nobody would want to hire you if you were nasty.
Well, of course.
Yeah,
Why
for modeling gigs,
I
you
mean-
had to be kind.
I mean, I'm not exactly a saint,
What?
but yeah. But no, you have to at least try to believe in people, trust people, know that they are good.
Mhm.
Down deep inside, they have goodness. Once they pass that, your, what does it call, your line, then, you can just kind of step back. But always, you need to believe in people, believe in their goodness, in all of them.
Yeah, I think inner
Can't
beauty
believe-
is so much more apparent than outer beauty.
It really is.
It
speaks volumes.
It controls you. That's
Yeah.
what controls what you do in life and how you do it.
Well, for Tara and I, we always talk about the fact that I think that that's something that we can kind of like sense in people, where we can be around them for like a very short period of time. And at first it's like this sense that you can get from somebody that they're either giving you good or they have good intentions. And then a couple minutes later, you might be in a conversation, and it really doesn't take much for us to be able to pinpoint like you're our person or you're our people.
Right.
Like when you know, and when you are, practicing goodness and you're just pouring goodness into the world, it pours out of you, and people can sense that.
One thing, you have to be truthful and honest. That is so important. And if you don't have those qualities, then definitely your inner beauty will not come out.
Right.
So yeah, I believe in that. Just being honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's good people in this world, but then there's bad people too. So you have to be careful.
Yeah,
There's
you
a
gotta. You
little
can be
bit of evil.
vulnerable, but still not be stupid.
Exactly.
Right. Kind of watch out for those people around you. But I think if you tend to find those that are like you and you surround yourself with those that are like-minded, you're a lot more likely to be in situations where you're going to just continue to find the ability and have the ability to continue to be you. And I think I see that in Alexis a lot. I think you put yourself around the right people and that just exudes from you. Like you walk into a room and people just know that. And I'm sure that comes a lot, from mom and dad, and even the story about Ron that we talked about, your grandpa and the previous episodes that we've talked about. That's just that part of you that just exudes beauty. And I love that.
You are who you surround yourself with.
Yeah, I agree.
So if you're going to hang out with nice people, good people,
Mm-hmm.
and if you're going to hang around with bums, that's what you're going to be.
Yep.
I mean, I've always told my children that,
Well, thanks for coming and hanging out with us today.
Oh, of course.
I loved
always.
learning more about
Thank
you and a little piece of Alexis. I get to learn a little bit more.
She's a good person.
Yeah.
My little Alexis.
Yeah.
My mouse. I always
Your
called her
little
my
mouse.
mouse.
I was quiet once, quiet enough for her to
Not
nickname me a
anymore.
mouse.
Oh, good Lord. That must have been
anymore.
a long time ago.
That's true. That's true.
Thanks for being here, Mom.
Thanks,
Love you.
I love
Maxie.
you. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Maxie.
Thank you.
Today's small business giveaway is proudly sponsored by Near North Title. Remember Near North Title for the most ethical and transparent title and escrow needs for Northeast Wisconsin.
Not to mention, they are a fun group of powerful and beautiful businesswomen and mamas. We thank all of the amazing ladies at Near North Title.
So Maxie Weyers, she's a trip
Yep.
and so tame today.
She is. I know.
know.
I was a little bit worried at first. I'm like, oh my God, what's going to come out of her mouth? Like
Yeah.
you never know the Maxie that you're going to get, but that was a really good one today.
I know. She was very authentic and
Yeah.
real, and she's very proud of you.
Yeah. She definitely is.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of good parts of me come from her. A lot of the very strong, like she said, stubborn parts of me.
Oh, I've seen the fire.
Yeah. The Erin Brockovich, the stick-to-itiveness. That's my Maxie.
Yeah, I love it. It was so fun getting to know. I love meeting family like that because it gives such a glimpse of who you are or who I am or, where people come from. It's so interesting. And by the way, for those who are watching or haven't watched but want to check it out, she looks exactly like Kris Jenner.
She sure does.
As a matter of fact, she says Kris Jenner looks like her.
She is older
Yeah.
than Kris Jenner,
She
so
is.
it is
Yeah.
the truth.
I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost identical.
I know.
Yeah.
She actually just got her hair cut. I mean, she's always had that shorter pixie cut, that dark black shorter pixie cut, but she just recently had it cut a little bit more like Kris Jenner, and she FaceTimes me before she came to town a couple weeks ago, and she said, "Alexis, what do you think?" I said, "What? You have bangs?" And she said, "I know. Don't I look like Kris?" I said, yes, exactly. You do.
I love that.
Goals met.
That's amazing. Well, I'm so happy she was here, and it was amazing to hear that perspective, especially, from somebody who wasn't from the country, and the story of becoming American is just
Very humbling beginnings,
Yeah, I love
for
that.
sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, it just goes to show you can come from nothing essentially, and life is what you make it.
Yeah, pack a suitcase and go for it. I like what she said about your grandma showing her hand and saying, whatever you want could be in the palm of your hand.
She would do that to me all the time when I was a little girl. She would just point to my palm and she would close my hand and say, whatever you want, Alexis, it's yours.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love
Yeah.
that. What a cool story. So just want to shout out Ginger Birch again, and to remind listeners that they can win a gift card to Ginger Birch just by following, liking, doing all those things for us and interacting with us, whether it's social media or sending us emails. We love supporting small business. So if you want to win a gift card to Ginger Birch, just interact with us any way you can, because we would love to be able to pay that forward and support that small business.
Absolutely. And do not forget to go to our page on Instagram, to follow us on Facebook, to like, comment, or share so that we can pick you for that small business give back. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts and follow us on Spotify. Nailed it this week. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening.
Remember to always stay
really relatable.